I spoke to Heidi Al-Alawi from BBC Arabic, who started by telling me just about the scale of these discoveries.
The government response needs to be up to the scale of the gravity of what has been found. Iraq is lacking on the expertise right now to actually carry out these investigations. It's lacking on the resources. In the past, it's been accused of being very bureaucratic when it came to finding those mass graves and identifying them.
Let's go to Hadia Al-Alawi, who's live on the ground there in Baghdad. So Hadia, tell us about this capture of this high-ranking Daesh operative. Is this a big deal?
He is the deputy of the leader of Daesh, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, who was killed by a U.S. raid back in 2019. He's held many positions within the extremist group.
The vote was held yesterday. Results are being tabulated as we speak. So is there any sense at the moment as to why turnout was so low?
They've lost interest in the vote. They've lost interest in the process and in the democratic system here in Iraq.
Much frustration with the ruling parties ahead of this vote. They've been on the streets protesting. Will this result appease them, or will it further frustrate them?
The part that will actually appease them is the fact that some of the candidates who taken part in this election for the first time as independent candidates or as candidates who were part of the protesters movement back in 2019 have actually won some seat, which is an amazing win for them.
Is it fair to say that the climate, the political climate in Iraq does not allow stability regardless of the results?
The people who were killed, assassinated, are in their hundreds, not in 1 or 2 or 10, 20 or 30. And the disappearance of people and those who are protesting peacefully.
Deadline for the Russian brokered deal. People in Daraa need to respond to this agreement, whether they accept it or reject it. So the main points of this agreement is that the Syrian regime would lift the siege from Daraa, which has been under siege for more than 2 months now. And although numbers are modest this time, it is still a reminder that the war is far from over. From the Turkish-Syrian border, Hadia Al-Alawi, TRT World.
Very long time since there was a jihadist attack in Morocco, hasn't it?
Yeah, indeed. It's been actually since 2003 when there was a bombing in Casablanca which killed 30 people. That's the last time we saw something from an Islamist group attack happen in Morocco, which actually is a relatively safe country compared to neighboring countries. So it doesn't have a strong base for IS, but however, we've seen, this ideology travel quite far around. It doesn't necessarily mean that it needs a base for it in the country. It's sometimes just individuals who carry the ideology who are waiting for the right opportunity to act upon it.
Is there any evidence this is coordinated?
These 2 women, and then there's other 2 women who have been killed before that. They seem to be sharing the same social media circles. The Prime Minister Haider al-Abadi came out and he said that there seems to be some reason to believe that these are maybe coordinated.
So where does this election leave Iraq? I spoke to Hadia Al-Alawi from BBC Arabic.
Although Muqtada Sadr is a very popular Shia cleric in Iraq, he wasn't really expected to win this election. Probably the bids were going towards Haider al-Abadi, the current prime minister.
This is the largest number of deaths since this coalition began their offensive on Yemen.
Yes, especially soldiers from the Emirates, actually. The last time there were 7 killed, but this is the largest number actually in 30 years, not just since the coalition started its airstrikes.
Hadia, what do we think is coming in Idlib province? We know the government's been leafleting. How serious is what's in store?
I think everything we've seen in the Syrian war is not going to be as tough as what's coming in Idlib. The Syrian government, let me explain a little bit, the Syrian government has been actually preparing for this for not months, it's been preparing for it for years. He is in Iraq and we've seen pictures of him, so Iran's involvement is crucial in this fight and no one can deny that they are involved in this.
Hadia Al-Alawi from BBC Arabic, thanks very much.
Thank you very much.